Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yo, this is a long time coming. I'm with like a Harlem legend representative. Yo, Smart. What's up, my brother?
Oh, man, everything, man. Just staying blessed. I'm so happy and grateful now. Money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis.
Yo,
Fastest way to Harlem. The fastest way to Harlem is the FDR on a late night in a foreign car.
Yo, why we're in 125th to be exact.
Right.
Where we at? Apollo.
Yeah, I mean, we in the Mecca, man. We in the Mecca. We in a place where this is the concrete Wakanda. This is the concrete Wakanda. This is the concrete Zamunda. This is utopia. Harlem is the place where there's so much fashion, style, close-knit families, creativity, intellectual property. I mean, you name it, you're gonna find it in Harlem.
Yo, so I want to start from the beginning a little bit. So you was born in Harlem?
Born in Harlem. Born in Harlem, but I moved around. I was born in Harlem, but my mother was, she was a drug addict, so we was in a lot of different shelters. So I was in shelters in Staten Island, I was in shelters in Manhattan, I was in shelters in Brooklyn.
So you had like brothers or sisters?
I got 8 brothers. I had one sister, she passed away.
God bless her soul. My condolences.
So yeah, I mean, life was man, it was very fast paced. When I was young, it was very, 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 very fast paced, because my mother, she was struggling with addiction, and my mom's, I looked so much like my father, and my father started a new life, new family. He got married, and my mother, the last time my mother saw my father, I was a newborn. And
how do you know that?
She told me, family members told me.
Okay.
You hear, you ask questions, and when everybody says the same thing, there's a high probability there's some truth to it. So my mother, as a newborn, she took me to my father's wedding. And when they say speak now or forever hold your peace, well, my mother wasn't holding no peace, she was holding a baby. The baby was me. Wow. And my father kind of like denounced both of us, like, I want nothing to do with you, fuck the baby, fuck the kid, whatever. And my mother, she took it really hard. For whatever reason, she took it really hard. And in most scenarios like that, the mother becomes the protector. It really shattered my mother, and it created this
not to cut you off,
disdain for me.
You had like 8 brothers though, so like how did that work out then? If you had 8 brothers, weren't they to like hold you down in certain type of ways? Like you said, like the mother can't be everything, right?
No, me and my brothers, we all grew up apart.
Oh, okay.
Everybody grew up apart, bro. So my mom's though, she took it hard that my father rejected her, and she got addicted. She fell back on drugs, and I think she used drugs as a form of escapism, and her physical and verbal abuse to me was a way indirectly she felt to hurt my father, because I'm a spitting image of my father. So my mother felt like if she beat me, she was beating my father. If she hurt me, she was. And I think the drugs kind of, in her mind, made my father and me the same person. So all the anger and abandonment issues she had from my father, she took that on me. She took it out on me. So, I mean, it was rough. And again, I talk about that in my song, Motherless Child. Spitting image of my daddy. That's why you slap me. Can nothing please you? You ain't never happy. Feels like God cursed me and my brothers. All I do is suffer. Pain came from my mother. Rose won't grow from this concrete. Roots getting pulled out. Petals getting stepped on. Came home high. Beat me half to death. Said that I slept wrong. Bloody tampons. Empty bottles of liquor. Cracked valves on the same bed I slept on. How the fuck could I sleep wrong? You got me laying on a bed I could barely even sleep on. I'm saying? So, that was my life, and it was tough. It was very tough. And it was nothing consistent in my life for a long time. There was no consistent food. There was no consistent clothing. There was no consistent shelter. So that, but on a positive side, that's what made me so self-reliant and strong and militant as I am now because of that early, that early beginning, traumatic childhood experiences, so to say.
And so then, when did you start going to prison and all that? Like, because you said you did time, right?
Yeah, I did time.
How long did you do? Like the longest stretch you ever did?
It was a while. It was a little minute.
It was more than 5 years?
It was a little minute. But my first time in the system, and again, I hate getting into the whole jail story and timeline shit. I try to put that behind me. But the first time I got in the system, my mother, I was already in the system because we was in children, like the single parent shelters. So my mother, as I got older, she put a pins worn out on me. So that basically says if you get in trouble, you become like a ward of a state. So any type of trouble, you get in a fist fight, the system could take that kid and throw him in the system. Wow. And that's what happened. I got into a fight, beat the kid up, and I ended up on the Sparford, and then I ended up in Crossroads and the Juvenile System, and
started real young.
Yeah, so man. And that shit is crazy. Like the Juvenile System is crazy. Like you gotta be a fucking caveman just to survive. And I never was a tough guy. But one thing about me, I always adapt to my environment. And me being in that environment, it forced me to.
You had to be tough.
I mean, it was a choice. You didn't have to. Some people was cold pussy. I mean, I just, I don't know. I just wasn't with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
you know why I bring up the jail? It's because you saying you did time, and I felt like you learned a lot from the prison.
No, and that's why. No, because at the end of the day, why should I have to lose my freedom? Let me tell you something. Yeah. I got stabbed in prison.
You did?
I got stabbed in the head. I got stabbed in the face. I got stabbed in the back. Right?
You got stabbed in the face?
Yeah.
I don't see no marks.
Yeah. So, and I cut people in prison. I stabbed people in prison. You know what I mean? And I've watched people get stabbed and die. I watched people get basically deformed.
Damn.
I've seen I seen a kid get his face, cut, open to where his you can see his teeth through his face, right? So, man, prison is horrible, and I don't think you should lose your freedom. I don't think losing your freedom should ever be the catalyst for you evolving or learning anything. You don't have to go to prison. Fuck prison.
Right.
Okay? And
so then how did you learn all, you know what I'm saying? So,
from God, like
come
God.
On.
Yeah, I get
what
that.
What?
I'm Muslim. But
you Muslim?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So the thing about me is, and there's no real
because I want to talk about real shit, right?
This is everything that's been real I've been talking about.
So when you say Muslim, right? Right? Like I said, I was naive and I was young. I was 17, 18 in the system, and what I didn't get in, I talked to 10 Toes, and before the prison, it wasn't no black or white or Asian, like for me. I didn't see it as a color thing. Right?
But you gotta, no, I'm gonna let you finish, but because I wanted to cut you off, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
And what I noticed after our conversation and just thinking about just my past, it's I don't know if it was a prison that it definitely prison was a color thing in prison for me. I see it because the system made it like a color thing, right? The blacks over there, the Spanish over there, the white over there. We have like 1% Asian, right? And my point is what was I
I interject just to help you out. So again, you mentioned about being a system, right? Check it out.
Right.
There's basically, you could say no Asian.
No, I got it now.
You got
Muslim.
It? Okay, go ahead.
Muslim thing, right? They were so adamant about not eating pork. Right? They're like, yo, we're not touching pork. Nothing to do with pork. If it's pork, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it. That's the worst thing in the world. But also, you smoke cigarettes. Right? You're the same guy who's telling me the pork is the worst thing in the world. But you're also smoking cigarettes. And or you murder somebody and you're here. You're in prison talking to me, talking about the worst thing in the world is. Like, well, I really didn't understand that. Like, why they were so adamant about pork. Like,
so the science, I got you. So
you know what I'm saying?
First of all, so the science behind the actual pig is, you know, it says in scripture that this is a meat that is cursed, right? When there was a possessed man and Jesus cast the spirits out, right?
So Jesus was real?
1,000,000%. I mean, I don't want to, and again, I never want to. Let me backtrack. 'Cause I never make content or do interviews looking for that sensational moment, right? Like
it's not about sensational
right?
moment.
So
Well,
I keep it cohesive. So let me backtrack.
Because you said Jesus, and then I really
right.
Because I believe in Jesus,
1,000,000%. Okay, look. So check it out. Let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
So me being in a system with my mom's, I never had any type of consistent anything, right?
Right.
So when I finally got to the system was designed to destroy me and insert a criminal way of thinking into my psyche to increase the recidivism rate or send me to a graveyard. So prison did nothing for me. Neither did being locked up. Okay. Now, what I learned along the way is this system is not about color. It's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about Chinese. It's not about Asian. It's not about rich. It's not about gay. It's not about straight. It's about rich or poor. America is a business. And see, black people were just collateral damage because slavery was viewed as good business for America. So when you look at the lack of Asians that are incarcerated, because it wasn't good business to attack Asian people in that way, and also the Asians had a lot of institutions in place to protect them against wrongful prosecution, right? Whereas black people didn't. And again, America is a business. Slavery was good business for America at the time. This is what the Civil War was about, right? Because up north couldn't compete with down south free labor. They had they had slaves. So everybody thought Abraham Lincoln was a abolitionist, or he was like for black people. He didn't give a fuck about us. He was seeing the future of good business for America, right? In terms of people being Muslim and saying pork is no good, the diet of a pig. The things that, first of all, the pig is a scavenger. It's a cannibal, right? So a pig will eat anything. It's the only animal. It will eat itself. Like, pigs are just horrible. The hygiene, there's no nutrients in that pig. Scripture says that this is a cursed meat. It's been forbidden by God. So when people say that a Muslim, hey, this is the worst thing, and again, it's what God said.